What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode, part 6 of an ongoing series where I talk about what I would do if I was in charge of the next Animal Crossing game. My name is Blaze, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're talking about events. Now, on today's episode, you can call this a wish list, you can call this a predictions list, whatever you'd like to call it. Um, if I'm right about anything on any of these videos, I'm gonna give myself one of these and say that I nailed it. But if it's not on there, I'll just say it was a wish list anyway. Don't worry about it. So, of course, there's opportunity for you to post in the comments below what you would like to see or any changes you would make. Um, but today's episode is all about events, new events, old events, any kind of events that you miss or would like to have back. This is the opportunity to voice your opinion, so put it in the comments below. Let's go ahead and transition over to the game here so you have something to look at so you don't stare at my face the whole time. Um, I like my face, but you know, not everyone does. It's fine. So basically, we're talking about events today, and I think that in Animal Crossing, there's really no shortage of events. Like I think there's a lot of events out there, lots of cool stuff that you can get into, whether it's Halloween, Thanksgiving. We've got Toy Day, we've got New Year's, we've got um, we've got the fireworks festival, things like that. But there are events that are no longer in your town. Um, One that comes to mind specifically is Fourth of July. Now I know that's a very American holiday, and I don't think that we need to rush out and put Fourth of July into our next Animal Crossing game. But I think that there's opportunity for the next Animal Crossing to include more events and to include events that may have been in the game before but are no longer there. I think that Wild World had a mushroom festival or something like that. I didn't play Wild World that much, so I don't remember it. So forgive me. But I know that there were events in Wild World that are no longer present in Animal Crossing. So there's some opportunity to bring some of those back. I think there's the Acorn Festival is one that I recall that is there's no trace of that in the new games. But what I'm saying today is that we're talking about events. Um, the first thing that came to mind was, of course, the 4th of July, or as we in America call it, Independence Day. It's a day where we celebrate our um, independence from Great Britain, I believe. Either way, it's where we signed our constitution, we became our own entity, and we light off fireworks every year to celebrate. So the biggest thing about that is, you know, I don't think that necessarily has to start on the 4th of July. I think that this has a lot of great opportunity uh, for this event to be uh, the anniversary um, of your town. And one thing that I think would be amazing and I'd love to see in the next game is I think there's a Founders Day in Animal Crossing as it stands right now. And Founders Day, I don't remember exactly what it's about. I think it's like the it's what am I trying to say? I think it's an event that I think you get like uh, not a pirate ship. You get the world globe as an in-game item for Founders Day, and it's not really anything special. It's just kind of like, hey, it's Founders Day. Here's a globe. Um, but I think there's opportunity to make Founders Day something really special. Um, so on part one, I talked about what happens when you first start the game, and you become mayor and everything like that. Um, well, you eventually work your way to becoming mayor and deciding whether or not you want to stay in this town. Um, if you do decide to stay in this town, it comes to be known that you just happen to show up on the day of this town first becoming a founded town. So let's just say about 2 or 3 days later, or even that same day, uh, as soon as you say yes or something like that, the townspeople will tell you, "Hey, it's convenient that you showed up today because it's the first day our town was created, oh so long ago." So every year we celebrate the founding of our town, but we really don't know how to celebrate it, or we'd like to celebrate it, but we really don't know how to celebrate it. So how would you recommend that we do that? So from this point, you're able to select, and even if it's not now, maybe it's 6 months down the line, you're able to think about it and select how you would like to celebrate your own Founders Day, your own Independence Day. Whether you want to light off fireworks or you want to have a big like Chinese New Year festival or something like that, you have the ability to determine how you want to celebrate this 1 year anniversary of your town. Um, so this event would be different for everybody, and every town would have a different 1 year anniversary date as well as a different 1 year anniversary event, which I think would be really really cool, as far as separating the towns and really going with the theme. You could have like a big like Star Wars parade if you wanted to, or something along the lines of things that they do in Mexico, confetti and mariachi bands and things like that. I mean, who knows? You decide how you want your 1 year anniversary to happen. There's probably like 4 or 5 different things to choose from, but you can choose whatever you think is appropriate for your town. And every single year on that day, they end up doing it. So today's September 4th when I'm recording this episode. It's actually on your screen right there. So on September 4th, let's just say today is the day I move in. I talk to all my villagers. I get them all situated and start things the way that I think that they should start running the town. They ask me to stay, and I say yes, and they say, "Oh, great! We knew that you'd accept being our mayor because today's the 1 year anniversary of when our town, or the however many year anniversary of when our town was formed. We still haven't decided on how to celebrate that, but we'd like to celebrate that, once a year. Um, think it over and let us know how you'd like to do that, and we'll make it happen." So that's kind of something that you get to choose what happens in your town on the 1 year anniversary. Um, the next thing I wanted to talk about is I touched on it a little bit in the last episode was you're now going to be able to plant pumpkins in the game. So one thing that you'll be able to do is a few days before Halloween. Halloween is obviously going to be a staple holiday. So every town will have staple holidays like Toy Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving. All those normal events are going to be an event in your town. Uh, but there's also going to be other events that can kind of lead into those events, or other events that you can kind of create as you go, which I'll touch on a little bit later. Um, One of those events is that a few days before Halloween, you're going to be able to collect a bunch of pumpkins if you decided to plant pumpkins around that time. Of course, all the villagers will tell you, please plant pumpkins, please plant pumpkins. Um, and eventually, you're going to be able to do that if you want. Um, so at that point, uh, you gather up all these pumpkins and you go to this pumpkin carving festival 3 or 4 days before Halloween, with some of your with some of your villagers, and you guys can all carve pumpkins together. You can do it kind of like how they do it with a pattern. So you kind of make a pattern or whatever, and that gets applied to the pumpkin. So you can pretty much make whatever pumpkin you want. Um, so that's kind of cool. I think that would be a really fun event, and you can put these pumpkins um, like right outside your door. So if you look at this house up here, you could have your pumpkin on top of your mailbox, or you could put it on your fence right there, or you could put it really wherever you want around your house. I talked before about having a little yard next to your house. If you wanted to have a yard, or maybe one of your villagers wanted to have a yard, you could actually do a yard. Of course, it'd be expensive, but you could. And you can kind of decorate that however you want, which also leads me to the next point. Outside decorations for your house. I think that pumpkins are kind of a way to kind of ease into that and start into the outside decorations, but I think there's a lot more opportunity to add in some more outside decorations. So Halloween's not the only time of year where you decorate your house. You certainly could decorate your house with um, all kinds of holiday things. Like if you happen to celebrate Christmas, you could decorate it with Christmas type things. If you want to put a menorah up there, you could do a menorah. You could do any kind of holiday related item that you want to put outside of your house. You can decorate your front door. You could decorate the top of your house. You can put lights on your roof. You can decorate your house however you see fit for the holiday, and you can really make it your own. You can make it your own kind of outside thing. Of course, if you leave it up for too long, the villagers would tell you or ask you to take it down. They wouldn't make you do it. You can keep it up all year if you want to, but they would ask you to take it down. I think that would be one of my favorite features, especially if they had a lot of like unique things you could put outside regarding regarding the outdoor decorations. So, um, and of course, you could do stuff for New Year's. You could put, lights on top of your roof that actually say, 2018 or whatever the case is, or um, you could actually do a lot more with the outside of your house to decorate for basically all of the different holidays. My mom was very much into decorating her house for pretty much every holiday, like Easter and all kinds of stuff, Columbus Day, Flag Day, all that stuff. She decorated for everything. St. Patrick's Day even, she had lights that she put up and stuff. So I think that would be kind of a cool thing that you could do. But she wasn't in depth with those, by the way. So it was like a subtle thing outside the house. But so there will be things that you can do in your own house in Animal Crossing to decorate for whatever holiday you feel is appropriate. Um, and the other thing that I think is that I would bring back into the Animal Crossing culture is, of course, the Acorn Festival would definitely be a welcome uh, return to Animal Crossing. But one thing I want to incorporate into the events is that I think events should, of course, I mentioned before, you're going to have your staple events like Halloween, 4th of July, or no, Halloween, Christmas, or Toy Day, New Year's, and all kinds of stuff. But you're also going to be able to have town exclusive events that nobody else has. And the way that those will work is very similar to the way the Public Works projects work right now. And you'll also be able to use those petitions that villagers will ping you for. So a second ago on the game, you saw Maple ping me and trade a bamboo wall for a Kitschy wall. So it very well may be like that, where they'll ping you and come up to you and talk about how they have a petition for a new, some kind of a new event that they want to hold, and all they need is a few signatures. So you can go get those signatures and hold on to that petition and turn it in at any point. So if you give it to your town hall representative or your secretary or whatever it is, whether it's Isabelle or somebody else, if you give that to that person, whatever day you give that to them, that day is now designated as whatever the petition was for. So you'll have a little bit of a say in what to call the event, but you actually can create your own events in Animal Crossing. So if you wanted to, today happens to be Labor Day, which I don't even think this game has an event for Labor Day, but I think that there are. Oh, Tortimer is here, so he does have a thing for Labor Day. But there will be other events that will be a little bit more in depth. So let's say you turn it in on September 9th. Every September 9th is now Hug Day, or whatever you want to call it. And you also get to choose what kinds of festivities you incorporate for Hug Day. So you can make everybody wear rabbit ears on that day, so all your villagers will now wear rabbit ears. You could make them all talk like a pirate day if you wanted to. You can make everybody talk like a pirate. A friend of mine on my Twitch channel, one of my viewers, Galactic Puppet, talks about how the first Friday in December is rhyming day for him and his friends. So that could be something that you incorporate into Animal Crossing as well. And I think that would actually bring some variety into the game. And I think that as far as that goes, you'll be able to select what kinds of things you want for those festivities, and there'll be a list of like 15 different things that you could incorporate. But of course, you won't be able to do all 15. You have to kind of pick and choose which ones you want. You can disband the holiday if you want to. You can reinstitute a new holiday if you want to. You can kind of do whatever you feel is necessary for your town to make it your unique own town. So you could, the Acorn Festival, that could come back. Whether it's something that comes back because it's just now an event that normally happens in Animal Crossing, or because it's something that you chose to be Acorn Day and you want to use the Acorn Festival to celebrate Acorn Day, or maybe you want it to be Snack Day and Acorn Festival festivities is how you celebrate Snack Day. It really kind of depends on the types of events that are planned, and the types of things that you want to do. So some of these events will be simple, like tree shaking day, just shake a bunch of trees, or some of them could be a little bit more complex. But there really is no right answer to what kinds of things you can put in the game. Um, but there'll be 15 types of things that um, you could institute, and let's just say that hypothetically, tree shaking is one of those events that you'll see all the villagers doing on. It's one of those events you could designate to a certain holiday. So let's just say you call it Hug a Tree Day. Well, during that day, you can make shaking trees a common practice for all your villagers. So let's just say September 9th is the day I turn that petition in, and I make it Hug a Tree Day. Um, During this day, you'll see all the villagers shaking trees. Bees will fall out, furniture will fall out, money will fall out. Maybe there's an increased chance for money or rare things to fall out. Maybe there's a whole furniture set that'll fall out during that day. Um, but that's one of the 15 things on the list that you can choose. One of the 15 events on the list you can choose to celebrate Hug a Tree Day. You could also call this event whatever you feel like. You could call it Nature Day. You could call it Tricycle Day. You can call it whatever you want. But the way that you'd celebrate that event is all your villagers would be shaking trees all day. It could also be slingshot. More balloons would float by all day, and you would actually be popping more balloons with your slingshot, and so will your other villagers as well. That could be another thing another item on the list of things that you could use to celebrate those events. And of course, there's really no limit to how many types of things you can do in this type of scenario. But I'm curious to see what you guys think and what kind of thoughts you had on anything I had to say today. So post your comments in the comments below if you liked any of the ideas I had. If you hated them, that's fine too. You can respectfully comment that as well. I do streaming on Animal Crossing every Sunday on my Twitch channel. The month of September, it's every Sunday at 6 p.m. And probably going forward from now on. But I also do Pokemon trading card game online and Pokemon shiny hunting, all kinds of stuff on my Twitch channels. Check that out. And I'm going to be continuing this series until Nintendo announces something with Animal Crossing. So I'm going to continue to think of new ideas and new things that could be incorporated into the next Animal Crossing. So if you have ideas, put them in the comments below. I might use your ideas on the next video. But I'll be scouring the internet for other ideas as well. So point me in the right direction of any other ideas that you've seen, and I'll be happy to use those as well. Don't forget to hit the like button on this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to check out my Twitch channel where I do streaming on Pokemon, Animal Crossing, and all kinds of other games. So until the next episode, folks, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.